Hey guys, it's Doc, and today the main thing we're going to go over a lot of stuff today, but the main thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over application rates using these hose and spray bottles, how to mix stuff and how to figure out and how to calculate the stuff in a real easy way to do this. So hold on one sec. Hey guys, so let me tell you what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the garage and I'm actually going to show you my sort of super juice mixing station that I made for this year because I'm treating several yards. But I don't just put down super juice in a spray formula. I also do stuff like bug treatments and pre-emergence and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to show you an easy way to do a calculation on how much am I putting down on my yard and how many spray bottles do I actually need. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take you into the garage. I'm going to show you some graphics that I think will make it actually easier for you to understand, and a really simple way to figure out how many spray bottles I need for mine and how much do I need to put down, and not just the super juice, but other products as well. First, make sure you subscribe because we are doing our giveaway in about 2 or 3 weeks to a YouTube subscriber, and we're going to do 2 smaller giveaways over on the Facebook page. So I made up a little Facebook page for Super Juice Fertilizer, so go over there and like that page and we'll do something over there too. Let's give you a little bit of an update. I know for a fact Super Juice has been produced. It's all bagged up. It's actually on a truck. It's getting ready to go to Amazon, so I'm hoping that Super Juice will be available maybe in about 10 days or so on Amazon. So look for that, and of course you just go to the website, How to a Doc, and just look for the product links, and there's a Super Juice link over there too. So the first thing I want to do is I want to explain, give you sort of a mental picture of these hose end bottles and how they work. So I'm going to do some graphics here and put up some graphics that make it real simple. And this can be applied not just to super juice, but anything that you're spraying down. Then I'll go to the garage and I'll show you my little spray and mixing station that I made, and we'll talk about a few more things. So hold on one sec.
Okay guys, so let's go ahead and let's walk through this real quick. Let's say that this is your yard. If your yard is 50 feet by 200 feet, you take 50 times 200, that'll give you 10,000 square feet of total grass to cover. Next, we know that from my earlier video, if you walk at a slow pace and spray, one bottle will cover 2,500 square feet of grass. So that's the volume of liquid that I need to cover 2,500 square feet of grass. I need 4 of these bottles then to cover the 10,000 square feet, because 10,000 divided by 4 is 2,500. Each bottle is 32 ounces, or it's a quart. So if I need 4 bottles, that's a gallon of water that I need to apply. I always do 1 extra, so I'm going to do 1 gallon and 1 quart, because again, I like to do a slow downward spray and then come up with a high misting spray. Now let's talk about the amount of material, because this is the critical. It doesn't matter how much water you have or how much water you're actually using. This is the point that really matters. 1 bag of super juice applied in a 7:1:2 ratio will cover 2 acres, or roughly 84,000 square feet. So I need roughly 1/8 of a bag for 10,000 square feet, or roughly 1 cup of material will treat 3,000 square feet. So if I wanted to treat this 10,000 square foot area, I would put about 3 cups of material if I wanted to do the 7:1:2 ratio. Now, if I want to do a little bit stronger and do the 14:2 ratio, which is what I'll be doing this year, especially in the spring, 1 bag of super juice will cover 1 acre, or approximately 42,000 square feet. So if I had 10,000 square feet, I wanted to do a 14:2 ratio, I would use 1/4 of the bag approximately, or 1 cup of material per 1,500 square feet. So that means approximately 7 cups of material for the 10,000 square feet. So that's how we look at it when we get to the square footage and dividing it out. It's a simple method. Again, the water volume doesn't matter. You can go back and do a double spray. You can do a single spray. It's the amount of actual super juice that you put down.
Hey guys, so now we're out in the garage and I'm going to show you my little station I built this year. The reason why I built this station, the reason why I'm doing this stuff is I've got about, 4 or 5 yards that I'm helping people out with. So it just makes it easier for me. You don't need to get this complicated, but I'm going to show you sort of what I do, because I don't just use this for super juice. I actually use this for other stuff as well too. So let me show you. First of all, let's look at the spray bottles. These are the 2 spray bottles that I always use. You can get them on Amazon. If you go over to the website, there's links to these 2 spray bottles.
Remember, it's not the spray bottles that make the difference. It's the sprayer heads. These are K1 sprayer heads, and the K1 sprayer heads put out a very high PSI. So there's a lot of pressure. So when you spray it, you have this big, long spray with a lot of mist. All of the like ortho dialysis sprays and all those dialysis sprays, you really can't use them. And the reason being is it just goes blah. It's just this real weak sort of spray. And our goal is, because Super Juice is a foliar spray as well as the roots. So the grass can actually start taking up the nutrients within the first 4 hours. It works that fast. So we want that foliage coverage, and that's what we get. I talk about the extra bottle in those frames. And one of the reasons why I like the extra bottle, or I make a couple extra bottles, is I'll go through the grass. Now I did a video earlier, and on that earlier video, I showed myself measuring, doing a fast walk, and this will treat 5,000 square feet. A slow walk, this will treat 2,500 square feet. But what I like to do is I like to do a downward spray and spray nice and slow as I walk, and then come back with an extra bottle and spray up in the air and get that mist, and that mist comes down and falls on the grass. And man, what a great coverage you get with this. And it's not just Super Juice. If you have something else like a weed killer that needs to be on the actual foliage of the weeds, great way to do this. Spray it on and come back with a light mist. Now my mist, I just mist real quick and just walk over and let it fall. Obviously, windy days, it doesn't work well. So those are the two bottles, and these are the sprayers. I had to get that question all the time. Can I use a dial spray, and can I use a tank sprayer? Tank sprayers just don't work that well. This is the best way to do it. First, let me show you my crap tables. I love these tables. I built 4 of these tables, 1, 2, 3. I got 4 of these tables in my garage, and it's helped amazingly. Look at these things. This is a simple 24-inch deep table with legs, and it's open here. So what I can do is I can store crap on this level, and now I can store crap on this level. It's given me so much more space and a place to work. So I really like these, as I call them, my crap tables, because it gives me 2 layers of crap. So I'm just gonna start blurting out some tips as I go along on this stuff. I purchased something that you probably won't purchase, but I'm gonna show it to you anyways. This is like an iced tea dispenser, and I'll put a link somewhere on the website if you go there. It has a little spigot on it. And so what I do is, after I mix everything, I pour it into here, and then I can take my bottles and I can actually fill my bottles up through the spigot, which is really nice. You don't have to do that, of course. But seeing that I'm gonna be doing so many lawns, I did that now. You know, the little stuff. You go to Walmart, you buy a couple funnels, and the funnels are $1 a piece. I really like these plastic cups, measuring cups. You know, they're $2 at Walmart. You can buy the kitchen strainer, the real fine kitchen strainer, or on an earlier video, I showed you these plastic strainers. There's like a 400 or 600 micron mesh that I use. Everything you spray, whether it's a hose end sprayer or a tank sprayer, run it through this and you won't have any clogs, because it's super, super fine. Oh, you can see that. Ooh, there's junk in there now. So let me give you an example. This method and this understanding this application rate and how we do this is not just for Super Juice. As an example, if I'm having an armyworm problem, and let's say I'm having an armyworm problem and I want to spray some permethrin. So I want to spray some permethrin out of my lawn along with my Super Juice in the same application. I can do that. How can I do that? Using the model that I showed before, if it's 10,000 square feet, I know how many scoops of Super Juice I need to do. I know, I'm just saying, if this is 1 ounce per 1,000 square feet, then I need 10 ounces of this in with that concoction that I made. As long as it does not matter how much water you use, as long as you put all that water out on the same amount of square footage. So if I use 1 gallon, 2 gallons, or 5 gallons, it doesn't matter, as long as I put that same amount of water down. The majority of the time, using more water is better, just so you know. Just one other quick tip I always keep. Here's my lawn dye. This is not for coloring your lawn. This is to make sure that you have chemicals coming out. Yes, it does give a little bit of a color and lets you see where you're spraying. Really important. This is the blue, this is the green. I use the green in the spring, and then I use this in the summertime. just better color balance. Here is, now this pitcher, I got this pitcher at Walmart. Someone asked about my pitcher. It's just a $3 pitcher at Walmart. So I'm gonna open up my Super Juice. Now I put a piece of duct tape. Even though Super Juice comes with these like Ziploc bag sealers, those things very seldom work once you get a lot of material inside of them. So I just put a piece of duct tape and close the bag over that way. You can close it any way you want. Because this stuff stores forever. So I'm gonna say, as an example, I'm gonna take 1 cup of material. So here is 1 cup of the Super Juice. This is what it looks like. This is everything inside of it. There's nothing else to add. And all you're gonna do is, for the initial mix, I always use hot water because water molecules are moving around really fast, just like sugar dissolves faster in hot water. Just pour it in and it's fine. It dissolves very quickly. So I'm just gonna pour this in. Somewhere around here, I stole one of my wife's spoons and she doesn't know about this, so. And now I'm just gonna mix this up. And you can see that it turns into this kind of brown, almost like a thick, super strong black sort of tea mixture is what it is, okay? Really has no odor to it whatsoever. It doesn't smell like anything. Maybe smells a little bit like you're boiling seaweed, I guess, because of the sea kelp inside of it. But I'm just gonna mix this up real quick. Again, you don't have to mix it up a whole lot of time. I did talk about why you strain it, and when you strain it, humic has a tendency, you may find a few particles of the humic, and not many, just a few particles that kind of resist melting. And I'm gonna show you here that in a second. So let me just take this, I'm just gonna put this strainer on here. Let me give it one more mix here. Then I'm gonna pour this into my container. And you'll notice that I have not added the dye yet. Add your dye last, so you're not splattering dye everywhere. You're gonna have a couple particles of this humic stuff. And all you gotta do is, if you wanna dissolve this even more, you can get another little cup of hot water, put those granules into it and squeeze them. What ends up happening with humic is when you do this, let me show you. It's this real soft feeling material. It almost feels like, I don't know, it's just really almost like baby powder. It's real soft, but there's not enough in here to really worry about. I just throw this away. There's plenty of humic inside of it. Let's go over this math equation again. My liquid doesn't matter. What matters, let's say for example I had 10,000 square feet. And I want to do a 7:1:2 ratio. So 3 cups of this material in here, and I've melted it and it's in here. Does it matter how much water I put in here? No. As long as I can put 1 gallon, I can put 3 gallons, I can put 4 gallons, it doesn't matter. As long as all that liquid goes onto the 10,000 square feet, because this is the important part. This is the chemical, as you call it, we'll call it the chemical. This is the nutrient that's going on 10,000 square feet. The fact that 1 gallon delivered it, 2 gallons delivered it, or 3 gallons delivered it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Some permethrin. If I wanted to add some permethrin, does it really matter how much water, whether it's 1 gallon, 2 gallon, or 3 gallons that I apply this with? Not really. As long as the right ounces, if I have 10 ounces for 10,000 square feet, the ounces are right for the amount of square footage. The liquid carrier really doesn't matter. Here's my liquid pre-emergent, okay? It's an expensive bottle right here. Let's say I need, I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. Let's say I need 1 ounce of dimension per 1,000 square feet. So if I need 1 ounce, I would need 10 ounces of this to treat 10,000 square feet. They actually say that they want a minimum of 1 gallon of water per 1,000 square feet on your application. So they actually like a little more water. So because this has to be watered into the soil, it's actually good when you're putting this down. Again, you don't increase the dosage of the chemical, you increase the amount of water, and that way you get more of it soaked into the soil. So manipulation of the water volume really doesn't matter. It's the chemical and nutrient that you're putting in. That's the important part. This is going to seem kind of stupid, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. These little bottles have a little clicking sound when you put them on. So here's a little trick I've learned. Screw the cap on without it being near this handle. So screw this on without it being near the handle, okay? See that? So it's away from the handle. Once you get it on, turn this and let it click. A lot of times people are trying to undo this while it's clicked on here. No, get it away from there, and now you can get your hand in there. You can screw it and unscrew it. It took me forever. I'm not that bright. It took me forever to learn how to do that, but keep this away from this part while you put it on, and then swing this and let it click. Another tip. I show you in a video that we cut these little safety tabs off because they're a pain in the butt going back and forth. But if you're taking several of these bottles, like I use a wheelbarrow and I put several of these bottles in my wheelbarrow with my hose and I go out and treat the neighbor's lawn or whatever I do. Keep it in the closed position. Keep it in the closed position while you're transporting it, because if you squeeze this, see how there's no air coming out? If I open it up, hear that? So it'll leak out. That's one thing I've learned by mistake. I've had these bottles tip over on the ground. I look over and there's blue coming out of it. So keep these in the off position while you're transporting them and storing them around. You squeeze it, nothing. Open it up, it's gonna come out. Lesson learned. This is what the Super Juice looks like inside the bag. There's the Super Juice. It does have this little Ziploc feature on the bag. However, I've learned over time that once you start to get grit and so forth inside the Ziploc, it doesn't work that well. So I just take a piece of little duct tape here and I roll my bag over and I seal it down. So I just seal it down with some, it's black duct tape, whatever. So as an example, if I wanted to use a regular pump tank, a tank sprayer, it's really hard to calculate how much chemical you're putting out on your lawn, because you really don't know. It's just hard to do. This is easy. Once you learn your yard, this is what I've learned. I know for a fact that 8 bottles is what I need when I go out and trade. So I just mix up. Don't forget, 4 bottles equals a gallon. So if I need 8 bottles, that's 2 gallons of liquid. So I need to end up with at least 2 gallons of here to fill these 8 bottles. That's it, I'm done. I can put whatever I want chemical-wise into it. I know that's going out with my lawn. So anyways, guys, hopefully that clears up the spray bottles and should make it pretty easy for you to calculate. Again, just write it down. Write down your formula. It takes me X amount of spray bottles to do my lawn, walking at a marginal pace, so I'm not running around the yard like crazy. Take your time and spray it. Again, the more water, it's better. Take your time and go slow. I hope that's it, guys. Don't forget, click that subscribe button. Check out the Facebook page. Super Juice Fertilizer is packed up and it is on the truck on the way to Amazon. Maybe next week, I don't know. Pretty soon, Super Juice will be hitting. And talk to you later. Doc.